Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends. We are in the Tier 6 Premium Z-35. This is the German destroyer, and I do kind of like this quite a bit. I actually don't play this ship enough for my Tier 6 Premiums for the week, but this week we did, so we're using this ship. I don't give it, it's kind of a jack of all trades, and I'll show you the build here as well, but just to kind of start off before we get too far into the game, it is available in the store. I almost never, in fact, I don't think I have ever recommended buying any ships ever for outright doubloons. I typically, you can see it in here for 12,500. I don't think it's worth that, right? It's tier 6, it's good, but like, there's plenty of other tier 6 stuff to play. So I wouldn't do it. There is a coupon this week. I think there was a mission you could pick up in the store that would then unlock this 10% off coupon for you. There's one for Germans and British ships, right? So you could apply this and get it a little bit cheaper, right? It brings it down to 11,250, but I almost never recommend outright buying ships. Most of the premium ships that I have, in fact, I think all of them, vast majority of them, right, either comes from campaigns or if I get them from like crates, right, like so it just, or like some other events where you can like earn some event currency and then spend a little bit of cash and get enough currency to then buy the ship, right? So I've never been an outright just big spender on the game. I try to be a little bit more moderate, right? So, but alas, we'll go back into the game, right? There's so many other ships you can buy for, wait for it to be, I feel like they change up which ships are available for global XP here and there every once in a while, right? So like maybe wait till you see it there if you really, really are excited about it. But we've got good concealment built in here. We have 5-kilometer range sonar here. So when this Benson gets picked up, we are going to try and drop our smoke, avoid his torpedoes. We do have to prioritize that, so I'm not able to sneak into my smoke screen like I would like to. But that sonar did give us that super early warning, which is nice. And then ideally you keep him spotted and still be able to shoot him, but he goes around the corner, makes a smart move there, and manages to live to fight another day. But we have scared him out of the cap, so it'll be an easy zone capture for us. We are also keeping him spotted, so on the outside chance somebody else could shoot him, that would also be ideal, but I don't think anybody is able to, or no, I don't see anybody take shots at him, right? But yeah, I really like this ship. It's kind of a jack of all trades. You don't get an engine boost, but you do get this really great range sonar for the tier. Speed is okay with it, anyway, right? So, and then you get smoke when you need it, and then you've got kind of good guns and good torpedoes also, right? I think the 9-kilometer range torpedoes, right? So, but yeah, so we pick up the Benson again. We'll take a shot at him, and then if he continues to move closer here, hopefully he can get back within our sonar range, and then we get some freebie shots. So this is kind of what you're going for, right? But yeah, at the tier, like, you're going to have that 5-kilometer sonar range is great for a tier 6. So we'll take advantage of that while we've still got a few more seconds of our smoke screen left to see if we can sort of tip the tables in our favor as far as his health versus our health here. And then it'd also be nice if some of my allies here, 2 battleships and a cruiser behind me, could help shoot. That would be great too, right? Anytime you see a destroyer, getting destroyers off the board early in the game, it makes just for huge game momentum, right? So I'm being a little risky taking these shots because I'm hoping that I can kill him and then go undetected. But he's playing it smart. He's kiting away. He's zigging and zagging, right? So he, again, gets away. We'll have to move away here as well. We do have the zone capped, so that's a huge favor for us. And then, yeah, we just need to wait out that 20 seconds of, firing, penalty, spotting, whatever you want to call it, right? So we can go undetected here again. So there it goes. So now we're finally back in concealment, and we're not spotted anymore. So we can circle back around and try and help support the cap. Was looking at this enemy battleship that pushed through the B hole over here, zone B, this P. Heinrich, right? It'd be nice to be able to shoot guns at him. We'll send another rack of torpedoes. Looks like he's going to dodge those and see how that goes. But I'll hold off on firing at him. We want to save the little bit of health that we have left for hopefully destroyer hunting. We can go back and finish off that Benson, right? But yeah, it'd be nice to cheese a kill here, but then I'd probably, again, remain spotted longer than I want to. So we'll let our allies get the kill on that one. We can see where the enemy destroyer is, right? We can see guns firing out of that smoke screen. He's going to sit here and pick on our battleship buddy. We could, if I get the guns turned in here, right, we could take some blind shots into the smoke. I'm thinking nothing else has line of sight on us, right? So we can get away with firing our guns into that smoke without getting picked up by anything else. So we'll take these shots, right? We're spotted by the planes, as you can see by the little plane symbol in the top right, but that just means that we're visible on their mini-map. That does, you know, enemy ships aren't able to lock onto us when it's like that, when you're spotted by planes alone. So we take advantage of that. The destroyer does manage to finish off our battleship as expected, right? But we can push in on this zone because we know he's still in it and he's still in the smoke screen because it's still getting capped, right? It's still getting taken back. So I'm going to push up into it, and then, of course, then it goes uncontested there. So he must be moving away, trying to do the same, right? Trying to conserve his little bit of health left, right? We've got about 20 seconds left on the sonar, so that would have been perfect to be able to push into his smoke, trip that sonar, and get those, you know, those shots off on him before he even sees us, right? So here is at a little bit of a decision-making point. Like, do I go and get Zone B, or do I go and push up on this destroyer, battleship, and carrier that are out here? So I make the decision to go after the ships, since we are kind of the right tool for the job for hunting that destroyer down. We had, you know, if you noticed before, right, we had spotted him before he had spotted us in those first engagements. So we have slightly better concealment than he does. And so knowing that gives us a little bit of an advantage as well. And then we've got the like twist and track or perceptive, whatever, you know, we've got the little halo with the directional indicator above our reticle here, showing us the direction of the nearest ship, right? That's a commander skill. So we can kind of have a good idea of where that ship is, and so we'll take advantage of the tools at our disposal and hunt these guys down. We've got sonar ready, we've got smoke ready if we need it. We'll trip them the second we get spotted here, right? Hyuga is pushing in, so we'll send the torpedoes towards him. If we get lucky, the destroyer will be out there too. I see some guns. There he is. There's the Benson. We'll take the shots, and then we're going to drop our sonar just in case he gets torpedoes off in this direction, right? We would potentially spot them for allies as well. And we'll drop the smoke so we can sit here and kind of damage farm this Hyuga, get our torpedoes going and whatnot, right? So, but that'll be it for our consumables for the game, but we are up significantly on ships. Had that zone capped, so we're up on points as well. So at this point, we are hopefully able to finish these guys off, right? My allies finished off their carrier. We're going to get at least 2 or 3 torpedo hits on this Hyuga, so that should end him. As always, we will leave just a tiny bit of health for somebody else to get the kill on that, so that gives us 2 assists for the day. We'll now push in towards the B hole here and see if we can cap the zone. Looks like we've got the indicator here probably pointing at the cruiser that might be coming around the corner here for over by A. So we'll push up on him, see if we can get him spotted. If we've got enough room, we'll push into the A cap and or push into B and cap the zone too, right? So, but yeah, he's moving this direction. So if he turns in, we may have to abort our plans here just so we try and stay undetected. We'll push into him. It looks like it's a Dutch cruiser. They typically have pretty decent concealment, so we can move up, get him spotted, and then we hopefully will see bullets flying from the 3 allied ships behind me to help take him out, right? We don't want to go toe-to-toe with a cruiser as a destroyer. It's generally not a good idea. And then, yeah, he's moving up, so we'll see if we can get ourselves turned around so that we don't get picked up by him. Trying to just gauge what he's going to do. I'm not really sure, so we'll do a widespread for that second rack of torps and see how this goes. Got a little bit of time, so we were able to get ourselves turned around before he gets too close to us, and then that first set of torpedoes is looking good. And then, yep, as expected, my allies behind me are shooting him as well. So we probably could have gone full-blown YOLO aggressive there, but right, we'll move around the corner here and go in and cap the B-hole. We are up to 2 assists and finally a kill and 57,000 damage isn't half bad for a tier 6 destroyer game. Oh, yep, so we'll push in to the zone, and then we'll go and see if we can find the last remaining destroyer and battleship. My allies over on the ACAP side, right, that props to them for surviving here, right? That's kind of the tactic that you need to utilize, right? So if you're on that side of the map that ends up outnumbered, or I like to call it weak side versus strong side, right? So ACAP would be weak side for us, and so the name of the game there is when you're on that side is just try and survive and kind of distract enemies and whittle them down, right? Get their health down as much as you can and stay alive as long as you can. Because that way, if you can delay them from being able to push into other zones, right, by staying alive and distracting them, then at this point now the other side of the map, right, all of us that spawned over at C and mid are able to come and help mop up at the end of the game here, right? So this will be an easy win at this point. We can see our twist and track is pointing this way, so I'm going to guess and look at the mini-map too. The airplanes had spotted the destroyer just a second ago, so we know almost exactly where he's going to be. We've got, like I said, this ship's a great for sort of jack of all trades, right? I wouldn't call it a gunboat, I wouldn't call it a torp boat, but they're both of those things are kind of good, right, for the tier. Not great, but good. And so, you know, if you're going up against a torpedo boat, you could probably outgun them, right? You know, then vice versa, right? So, Shiritsuya, right, like, isn't the greatest with guns, and he's got about the same amount of health as we have, so this should be easy pickings. We'll send the torpedoes too, just in case we can get lucky there, right? Or for some reason we go down. But yeah, we're gonna be able to get some great hits on him. We triggered the fire, so he's either gonna have to use his damage con, right? Yep, and he does. Everybody's shooting him, and yes, we get another kill there. And then we're going to try and see if we can cheese a kill on the Connecticut. That would be nice and fun as well, but literally all 5 ships on my team look like they're shooting him, so we get another assist there. We'll go through the leaderboard here really quick, and then I'll go through the commander build and guided stuff as well. I think I have 100% free-to-play build for this ship, is what's been working out best for me, so we did get the top spot on the board and walked away with a good chunk of cash. Tier 6 premium ships are typically pretty good for earning silver. So yeah, I'm using aiming system, propulsion mod, and concealment for the modification slots. And then we are using this Maximilian von Spee guy for the commander. Base trait, smoke generator cooldown, that's fine, nothing fancy there. But these two guys here, right, we're kind of just building into the jack of all trades with these two, right, more torpedo speed, better detectability, right, like just kind of a mix and match there. And then I went subsurface venture here. You could go speed, right, but yeah, and then I did just the look at me now, right, for better concealment. And then, like I said, you could really probably pick any of these, right, whichever way you kind of want to lean into. But I am using perceptive here. It does give us better torpedo acquisition range, which isn't a big deal since we've got sonar, right? But what I really like about this commander is the on sunset, because it gives your torpedoes better concealment and it gives your destroyer a little bit better concealment as well. So that's kind of my favorite perk of his. He is great for torpedo builds, right? At least that perk, right? So, and then I'm using unstoppable for the legendary perk, right? Because that gives you the ability to keep moving and turning even if you've got engine or steering gear damage, right? So it's hard for me to get away from that one. Most of my destroyers I'm using unstoppable for the legendary perk. Don't forget, you can unlock that. You don't have to have your commander maxed out all the way, right? You can unlock that, the legendary perks right away. You just need a commendation. But that's going to be our video for the day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Really do appreciate those of you that follow. I try to do Legends videos just about every day, right? I get involved in some other things too, and then sometimes real life gets in the way, right? It's the worst. But yeah, so make sure you're following. If you are, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as always, I do occasionally live stream. Don't really have a set schedule, usually just in the evenings. So if you're interested in that at all, make sure you hit notifications for the channel. That way, when we do pop up live, you'll get a notification for it and come check it out and hang out for a little bit. But thanks again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.